The DNRC provides irrigation development grants. The grant program was established by the Montana legislature to increase the value of irrigation crops while preserving natural resources. The program was established to develop new irrigation and to sustain and increase the value of existing irrigation. This funding is available to private, for-profit, private nonprofit, governmental and tribal entities, individuals, and other groups within the state. Typical projects include preliminary engineering reports for new irrigation systems, or repairs of new irrigation acres would result. Complete environmental assessments, marketing studies, project coordination, and hiring professionals to create a new district or association. Applications can be submitted to the Irrigation Development Grant Program at any time. Grants range from $300 to $20,000 depending on the type of the project. If you are a public entity or a governmental agency, no funding match is required. For any private entities, a 25% match will be required. Grant funds are dispensed on a reimbursement basis. Therefore, no funding will be approved for costs incurred prior to the grant agreement. There are things that will need to be considered before submitting an application. First, hold a district meeting to discuss projects that need to be completed. Our suggestion is to discuss all the projects that your district has that needs to be completed. 2, prioritize those projects. What's most important and what would you like to see funded first? And then 3, vote on what to apply for based on funding eligibility. An example of a project that has utilized an irrigation development grant is the Orchard Homes Ditch Intake Improvements Project. This project is owned by the Orchard Homes Ditch Company. The primary purpose is for irrigation. The existing intake structure located on the Clark Fork River was over 60 years old and in dire need of numerous improvements to ensure adequate water delivery to its users. The project cost was $119,000, and the source of funds included $12,000 from the DNRC Irrigation Grant, $100,000 from the DNRC RRGL Grant, and $7,000 of other funds. Some frequently asked questions of the irrigation development grants include who can apply for a DNRC irrigation development grant. Grants are available to private for-profit, private nonprofit, governmental and tribal entities, individuals, and other groups within the state. And 2, what are the grant amounts for different project requests? Grant allocations are variable depending on type. Irrigation projects such as lining, headgates, and infrastructure grants are limited to $20,000. Preliminary engineering reports, studies, and surveys are limited to $5,000. Administrative grants for contracted administrative costs associated with irrigation development are also limited to $5,000. Questions about the DNRC irrigation development grants can be directed to Ann Kulshnick with the DNRC. Ann's telephone number is 406-228-4129. Ann's email is listed on the screen, as is the website for more information about the Irrigation Development Grant Program.